Okay. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the SVT Podcast. I am here with Sam and Vince. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, doing all right.
Tim, how are you doing here on the ones and twos?
I'm 1 and 2.
There you go. There you go. Well, I decided to host this week because I had a fun little thing that I wanted to share with you guys today. Tim, if you could be so kind here.
Shit.
Vince is already breaking cuss records here. Guys, I wanted to wish you guys happy Bonilla Day.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
There you go, guys. Yeah. There you go. We get another 11 years of this. So thank you so much for indulging with us on July 1st, everyone.
Jesus.
Oh, excellent.
All right. So on the show today, Tim, you can take it out here. News. Free agency has hit. Not to be outdone, the ice and hockey has also started their free agency. We've got a little bit of frenzy going on between both the sports here today. Touch base on the soccer and the woes of Team USA right now. It is getting worse and worse. So, and we got a couple other baseball news to touch up on here other than just Bobby Bonilla Day. So, Vince, without further ado, go right on in.
All right. So, basketball, free agency news. There's been some big stuff that we've been waiting for. Go, Tim. Yep. Okay. All right. So, let's talk about it. Klay Thompson is going to be a Dallas Maverick. He's signing a 3-year, $50 million through a sign-and trade. So the Warriors are going to receive 2 second-round picks in exchange for this move. It's unfortunate. We kind of thought it might be happening. We were like 50-50 on whether it would or not, hoping that he would have come back. But when they couldn't agree on the years, on the duration, that's when we kind of knew it was going to be probably the end.
Yeah, he wanted 2, or he wanted 3. Warriors can only commit to 2, which makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, I get it, and it's sad to see him go. This was a key player for 13 years with this team, man. It's tough to see him go, and I mean, I think my favorite, I remember the 60-point game, the 37-point quarter. I was actually driving to the hospital because one of my friends got into a car wreck. But I had the game on the radio, and I'm just like going ape shit like while it's happening. So like it's just kind of this funny thing. Like I'm gonna go check on one of my friends for something sad, but also I'm like incredibly happy, like taking myself out of the sad moment. Like it's just kind of a fun dichotomy that I'm always gonna remember. And I mean, we can talk about the times during in game 6 is when he showed up huge, and I'm gonna miss him,
Yeah. I'm gonna take this moment to give a cheers to him. I am drinking rum for Captain Klay. He has a lot of personas: Toaster Klay, China Klay, you name it. He's had quite a few of them. He's actually the first player that I've ever bought a jersey with their name on it. As many of you guys know, I'm a scorned A's fan, so buying a player's name on it means I'm highly vested. And I bought 2 of them. I'm wearing one right now, which was the 75th anniversary one, and then the first one that I bought, which was the white jerseys here. So, I mean, he 13 seasons, but he played 11 years. So 11 years with the Warriors for number 11. I love it. Just going to remember all the memories that he gave us from game 6 Klay that you guys all talked about here. And then also, the memories of his magical game against the Kings. So a lot of good core memories that came from having Klay Thompson there. When you needed a bucket, when you needed a defensive stop, he just kind of always seemed to be at the right place at the right time. But no animosity on him going to Dallas. He got his bag. He got his 3 years. Doesn't have to worry about the whole tax situation that he would if he were to stay in California. So it all kind of evened out there for him. I know he took a little less than what what he may have gotten over here, but always a Warrior, man, and always a 4-time champ. And I love it for
Get
him.
a statue. So
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely sad to see him go, but we always knew that at some point the big three was going to get broken up at some point. And how we here, it is what it is, whether Klay feels dissed or the Warriors feel dissed, or I felt like going into the offseason, he had a bad, was it the 0 for 11, 0 for
over 10.
0 for 10 from 3. And then ownership saying they needed to get below those in these hard caps.
Yeah, they needed to get below the repeater tax and the luxury tax, which they've done both. It's the first time since 2019 that they've been underneath it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess it's just you never know how it's going to end, and it's finally ending. I don't know if that's for good or bad or better or for worse or whatever. I just know where the Warriors were before the big three got here, before Curry. And and no matter how the rest of this shakes out, I'm extremely appreciative of what these players have done for the franchise and chips and the memories and all of that. There's definitely a business side to it. And, I think all of us have kind of taken a stance or a viewpoint that we're all pretty pro player on get your money, because it's time is limited.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even as friends, right, when we talk about work and we talk about our business endeavors, it's always get your money to help, to buy a house or have a better life for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I hope Klay is happy, has a good season coming up. But on the flip side, I hope the Warriors make some more moves to have a real competitive team. It's kind of they didn't get nothing for they couldn't do the Paul George deal, so the Clippers let him just go for nothing. And I know we're going to get into Chris Paul, but then the Warriors let him go for nothing. So kind of a whole lot of nothing burgers for the Warriors today.
Yeah, but I'm
back to
hearing that
the Jordan Poole trade, that turns into a nothing burger. So
yeah, but I wouldn't consider that a nothing burger. Honestly, they tried to do a sign-in trade with Chris Paul, and nothing that could make sense for them to do it. And then with the Warriors now getting, well, I'll let Vince get into it, but with the Warriors getting what they got for Klay Thompson, I don't think that's nothing further eager. Go ahead.
The Warriors get 2 second round picks. I think one of them is 2031 and the other is 2025, and it'll be whichever is the worst pick between two picks that aren't even Dallas's. Like I think they had Philadelphia and Denver or somebody. I don't even remember. I just saw it real quick and forgot to type it in. But
I think the other one was the third team that's in the mix, which is Charlotte.
They got Charlotte in there. Anyway, so they I mean, a second round pick, that's a lottery, that's like getting a lottery ticket from the store. Most second round picks don't pan out, but every now and then you get lucky. Every now and then you run into a Draymond Green. You know?
But the reason why I'm saying this is not a nothing burger is because the Warriors Joe has come out and said, if we're not fielding a competitive team, I'm not paying over the luxury tax for a non-competitive team. Joe did exactly what he said he was going to do, and he accomplished it. And now all the people are like, "Oh man, we didn't get anything for these picks." Know what you got? Now you can go spend money on a player, and you don't have to worry about being a vet minimum. You don't have to worry about being a mid-level exception player that's bounced around or on the tail end of his career anymore. You can go get a player now and pay for 4 years. You can get somebody now. That's what
not
Joe
this
did.
year.
Not this year, next year, but
Yep.
that's what Joe gave you. So
Yeah, not
it may
this
be a nothing
year.
burger, but you gotta look at it long term. We ain't gonna be good anyways this year at all. So don't expect anything
Yeah.
out of that at all.
Yeah, I think that the new fans are about to experience a downturn for the first time,
Mhm.
you know, and so we'll see what happens there. Maybe tickets will get a little bit cheaper, and we can actually get into the stadium.
Not
That'd be
happening,
nice.
Vince.
I know we
Good luck.
gotta we gotta get lucky and just
Joe said he was gonna get into the luxury tax. He didn't say he was gonna lower the prices for you.
no.
Yeah.
I'm saying like second market.
I
I'm
think
saying second market. I'm not saying like Joe's not gonna lower the prices. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like somebody's like, oh, I just need to offload these tickets. Give me like $50 or whatever for something that's worth a little bit more than that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course.
I think, for means that some of the young guys are going to get some starts. So my personal theory that I'm subscribing to, I've heard floated around online all day and radios and podcasts is, there was an offer to Klay that was roughly the same amount of money per year, maybe a little more from the Warriors.
Mhm.
But I think that came with the caveat that he's coming from the bench. He's coming off the bench. He probably ain't going to close games, and they're going to go full bore with Pods as the starter. And I think he felt that, it was going to be hard for him to watch Steph start and him coming off the bench. And I think if the Warriors offered him the same amount of money and a guaranteed starter spot, possibly could have ended up a little bit different. But I think you kind of have to see what you have with these young guys.
Yep.
And you need to make decisions if these guys are going to be foundational pieces, and they need to find out what's going to happen with JK, because are you extending him or not? The clock is ticking on him.
That's a good point, man. I mean, like you and I with all three of us have screamed to the heavens. Moody needs playtime. Moody's going to get playtime, and Kuminga too. Like Kuminga goes through stretches where he's in the doghouse, and for an example, maybe he turns into the Ayuk of the Warriors, where he was in the doghouse and now he's one of your pivotal guys. You can't live without him anymore. So we'll see.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's just move on now to Chris Paul was waived by the Warriors. He ends up signing with San Antonio Spurs for 1 year, $11 million.
That is an amazing pickup, by the way. I had mentioned that if Chris Paul, we'll go, if you go back a few episodes ago, I had mentioned that was probably one of the best places Chris Paul could end up, and I'm so happy for him to be there. It feels like he should have been with Pop a long time ago, personally, honestly. But
yeah, I mean,
great.
And I mean, he's taken basically a $20 million loss by not having that $30 million contract versus this $11 million.
True,
but he gets to also get 1 more year of mentorship for Wemby, and then also is he a starter? He's a starter now.
Oh, he's starting.
I would think he's starting.
Yeah,
you
he's
don't
starting.
Think
so? I think he starts.
Okay.
I don't know who's their point guard.
I don't remember. I don't fucking know.
Remember we watched a lot of videos.
Yeah,
remember we watched a lot of videos and like Wemby wasn't getting the ball. I'm like, that guy is taller than everybody else in the league. Just throw it to the ceiling. He'll get it.
Oh, yeah. Chris Paul can do that. So when he's healthy. And
exactly.
he ended up playing 58 games for the Warriors, which is kind of where I thought he might end up being, somewhere around
that broken
there.
hand got him though.
Yeah. So, all right. And then the other thing the Warriors did was they got DeAnthony Melton for a $12.8 million for 1 year. Another guard.
Yeah.
You got to use it somewhere, I guess.
Look, if Melton's healthy, I think he picks up the slack defensively that we lost with Klay from last year. Not going to say prime Klay. I'm just saying what we lost from Klay last year. So it's not a terrible gamble, and I think it's a good gamble. But again, it's Eric Pascal as your starting power forward type of deal situation. Don't expect much.
You're right. Okay. So now let's just turn to the rest of the league. Let's start in Boston. They paid out 3 of their key contributors. So Jason Tatum is going to sign a 5-year, $314 million extension. It's the biggest contract in NBA history. And goddamn. They also signed Jaylen Brown for 5 years, $285 million. And then Derek White is getting a 4-year, $126 million contract. So those guys are going to be living good in Boston for the next handful of years.
So
Isn't it crazy
real quick,
that there was
they-
drama
they-
that they were going to trade those two guys last year, and now
they
they're
win the
champions?
championship. They hand out all these paychecks, and then the owner says, "Sell the team."
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know. I was gonna text you guys today, and I was like, I'll just save it for the show. But isn't that how you do it? Like, you know that if it were done properly and we didn't have a piece of shit owner, and John Fisher thought that way, he would totally try to win and then sell it at its highest. Like, that's how you should do it.
I would think.
You would think, but
Oh, what time is it? What
It's
time
fuck
is it?
John Fisher
Fuck
o'clock.
John Fisher.
There we go. There we go. Anyways, keep going.
You
I'm
would
sorry.
think.
I'm for.
Well, I mean, Boston, they got a young core that could, in theory, go off and win 2 to 3 more.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the slack since Vince dropped off here for a little bit.
John Fisher fucking sniped.
I know. He
Sniped Vince, dude.
took out Vince's knee right.
Dave Cabell. Dave Cabell took out his router for a second.
Go ahead, Vince. We didn't say any other names, so pick
Oh
up
no,
your-
just fuck John Fisher. That's all. Okay. Anyway, so there's your 3 in Boston. The Lakers, D'Angelo Russell is opting into his final year, $18.7 million. To the Clippers, we have Russell Westbrook picked up his $4 million option, but they are looking to trade him. So I think he's going to be part of a trade package at some point here.
I heard Jokic in Denver. He really wants Russell. Like, he thinks Russell is the guy he wants to play with. Maybe because he could go back. And speaking of Jokic here, maybe he can go back to not having to play so hard every single night because Russell
Right.
will do all this, pick up the slack for him.
I know, right? Yeah. he can take a couple of games off mentally. James Harden is going to the Clippers, 2 years, $70 million. Derek Jones Jr. to the Clippers, 3 years, $30 million, and then Kevin Porter Jr. to the Clippers.
That's
It's a
impressive.
2-year deal. I didn't see the money on that one, but
That's all right. He's just gonna probably get himself in trouble again and lose it anyways.
Yeah. Kentavious Caldwell Pope to Orlando, 3 years, $66 million.
Wow.
Paul George to Philly. This is a huge one. 4 years, $212 million.
I'm kind of glad the Warriors dodged that.
Yeah.
I am
Like,
too. I'm too.
Tyrese Maxey is also going to stay in Philly. 5-year, $205 million contract. And then they kept Kelly Oubre Jr., our old friend, 2 years, $16 million and change. So yeah,
He's loved in Philly, by the way. I mean,
Yeah.
he seems to be loved in a lot of places. I mean, he was even loved here too, but he's definitely loved in Philly. No joke over there.
yeah. If you find a place that likes you, stick around. If you can make it work.
Yep.
Let's see. Isaiah Joe is staying in Oklahoma City, 4-year, $48 million contract. Aaron Wiggins is staying in OKC as well, 5 years, $47 million.
Is that
so
Santa
they're-
Clara Wiggins, as Bob would always say on TV? Jeez Louise.
And then Isaiah Hartenstein goes to Oklahoma City for 3 years, $87 million as well. Get out of that
Jeez.
New York spotlight. Okay. Oh my God.
What an idiot!
Yeah.
All right. Najee Marshall to Dallas, 3 years, $27 million. I saw that Mason Plumlee went to Phoenix, but I didn't get the numbers on that one. Jonas Valanciunas to Washington, 3 years.
That one
for
hurts
$30
me the
million.
most. Only because I really thought he would be a good Warrior pickup. Big dude, play defense. Maybe not obviously he's not a perimeter player, but I mean, who outside of the Australian, I mean, who's bigger than him in the league you're gonna bully in the box? No one.
Yeah.
Ugh, I wanted that one.
In a move that would have been amazing 10 years ago, Andre Drummond to Philly, 2 for 10.
Lisa's favorite memory of Andre Drummond, or at least how she remembers him, is that he's got the hairiest shoulders in the league, and that's how she remembers him.
Oh man. Kevin Love is going to stay in Miami, 2 years, $8 million, and Toby Harris is going to Detroit.
I like
2
calling
years,
Toby.
$52
I like
million.
Toby. It's Tobias,
Yeah,
but I like Toby.
Tobias Harris. I'm not the only one that does it. Anyway, so there's your NBA free agency update. So I think if there's anything else, I think let's move on to hockey and let's just recap the Stanley Cup final real quick.
Sure.
Tim. All
Sweet.
right. And so Florida ended up holding on to win 2-1. That's their first ever Stanley Cup. Connor McDavid won the Conn Smythe Trophy as a playoff MVP. He's the 6th player to ever win it while being on the losing team in the finals.
Yeah, he
So,
didn't even show up.
yeah, he did not. Yeah. Well, no, he.
I mean, he showed
yeah.
up for the game, but he didn't show up for the trophy.
Yeah, no, didn't show up for the trophy. Matthew Tkachuk took the trophy into the ocean. There was a lot of fun video of that happening the day
I sent
after
you guys one today that Luongo was eating pasta out of the top.
Yeah,
of the
I
bowl.
saw that they were shredding parm into it. It's a nice touch for a former Florida Panther who it's amazing what happens when you get a good owner in there who's willing to spend a little bit of money and spend it the right way.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing because this was a dog shit franchise that nobody was showing up for, and people were, like outside of Florida market, people were saying, "Oh, you should just relocate them or whatever." But when you actually put some attention into it, when you care, all of a sudden they're selling out and they're winning a fucking chip, man. So it just goes to show you if you can spend money correctly if you can. I do little. If you spend the money right and you actually spend the money, you can get a championship. You can get people to care no matter where it is. We're talking about ice hockey in fucking Florida. Okay. It's not a traditional hockey market, to say the least. And they were able to get a lot of attention there. And it ended up.
The docs are
working
saying,
out for
fuck
'em.
John Fisher.
That's right. Fucking right, man. All right. So speaking of bad owners, Tim, let's cue the next one. All right. So literally 2 hours after we signed off last week, Craig Morgan of PHNX Sports reported that Alex Morello is done after the land
Thank
auction was
God.
canceled. Hockey in Phoenix may return one day, but it won't be with this fucking guy. So
God.
thank fucking God that this is obviously a detriment. People that wanted to get hockey back to Phoenix as fast as possible, that option is now gone. Now Phoenix is just another city that can apply for expansion when expansion is on the precipice, So he's but I mean, this guy sucked. I mean, I think everybody in Phoenix knows it. And not just hockey fans. Like the reason why he couldn't make anything work was because he was impossible to deal with. It's sounding real familiar, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So the city was tired of working with him, and when they canceled the auction.
Oh, see, every time he talks about him, he gets sniped.
Got
Every
sniped.
single time.
Got
Every
sniped.
single time.
Morello's got it out for your router, bro.
Dave Cowell handed over the sniper to Alex Morello, man. I don't know. Jesus fuck. All right.
Morello was like, you know that fucking guy Vince on his podcast?
Yeah.
I'm taking him out.
That's right. He
Shit
came to my
owners
town
united.
He came to my town one time 2 years ago, and fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So God, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, he sucks, and they canceled the land auction for his benefit because he didn't have his shit together, and instead he took it like a personal affront. And well, fuck that guy. He can go kick rocks. And he still owns the minor league team, the Tucson Roadrunners, and in 2026. He's going to relocate them to Reno. It's not official yet. Nothing like that is official.
But he will.
But he's building a rink in Reno right now.
Yeah.
So that is happening. It's going to happen. It's connecting two dots. Like there's the most incompetent person can still figure that out,
Yeah.
And so yeah, he's going to be taking hockey completely out of the desert in its entirety in the span of 2 years. So one giant fuck that guy. So let's move on to a little bit happier news. To definitely don't fuck that guy. Keep that guy around. Yeah. The NHL draft happened. The Sharks get Macklin Celebrini officially. They traded up to the 11th, and they get Sam Dickinson, defenseman, in the 11th spot overall. And from all accounts, this sounds like a guy who can be a top end, like a top pair defenseman. He's got a wicked hard shot, and he's not afraid to do the dirty work a little bit. It's a potential Brent Burnsian kind of player. Like he has that in his range of outcomes. It's obviously asking a lot. Burnsy's a future Hall of Famer, but this is, he has a lot of skills to come around. And obviously we've talked glowingly about Macklin Celebrini for months now, just excited about the possibility of him coming. And now it's officially happening. The fun story I heard actually was he was scheduled to leave on Saturday, I think, but he wanted to get one more workout in. So the family ended up leaving on Sunday instead from Las Vegas.
Nice. Well, I also too. It's not on here, but I also too. The Sharks paid their way back in to get the 33rd pick for Igor Sharanov, which was a left winger that has a lot of potential too, coming out of Russia there. So
right, yeah. Every draft class, like almost all of them are gonna miss. Excuse me. Almost nobody makes becomes an established pro in hockey. Like it's just so hard. It's such a tough league to crack. But there's a potential. You could have 4, maybe 5 guys that are like, significant NHLers. Obviously, the top 2 guys in the draft, you expect them to be around for a decade or more. And but even like the second and the third round guys, the day 2 guys, there's a lot of talk that these guys could be, 5 or 10 year vets as well. And if you get 4 guys in a draft class that end up being like significant contributors, that's a win. That's a huge successful draft class. And every publication I read has given the Sharks an A or an A+ on their draft. They did a lot of and it's not just for Macklin Celebrini, it's finding the value. They talked about Sam Dickinson. They didn't think that he would be there at 11 for him. I mean, I made a joke
where I went down the rabbit hole of his scouting report.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hockey people had him top 6, top 7.
Mm-hmm.
And because of Anaheim messing up, and then Ottawa at 10 doing something crazy, that kind of put him at 11, where no one really thought he was going to be there at 11. And the Sharks actually had their choice of getting one of 2 of the defensemen that were left on the board.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I heard about his scouting report is they actually think Sam Dickinson is one of the best skaters, best skaters in
the class,
in the class right now.
Yeah.
And they're saying his speed as a scorer, he's able to recover on defense, attack the rush, get down there. And then he has a cannon for a shot, was like one of the biggest highlights. But they're saying his skating ability is 3 picks are definitely exciting. And I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see these young guys with the Barracuda, with the big, with the Sharks. I can't wait to see it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if look at it, like Macklin Celebrini, Sam Dickinson, William Smith. If Quentin Musty pans out too, and then you're throwing Eklund in the mix there. Now we're talking. Now we got 1 or 2 Lions that are kind of sure down in some positions here. So future's bright. We'll see what hits and what doesn't hit here in the mix here. But I'm loving the future so far. And Sam, you were talking about possibly bringing your pops to a game next year. So want him to kind of get back into the feels of enjoying a sports team that's invested in its fans, let alone just being a Bay Area sports team. So
yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, and I mean, I've gone to Sharks games my entire as long as they've been around, basically, and it's a great time. And like you said before, Sam, now's the time to get in. So
now's the time to jump on board. I mean, the only way up, the only way they can go now is up. Of course, you can have another year of growing pains because it's going to be a younger team. But to me, even their free agency looks like they're doing really well in free agency. They're adding quality veterans. They're not just like the wrong side of 30 veterans. We're like, in baseball and football, you hear about these veterans being added, and it's clearly a just be a presence contract. You know, Mike Greer is bringing in guys that can still score, that can be a good pro for these young guys to kind of follow. So I see a really good mix of youth and quality veterans. You're not just throwing a contract to a veteran guy just to have a veteran. Like, they're still capable of being really good.
That being said, Vince, who did the Sharks pick up here
All
today?
right. So they picked up forward Tyler Toffoli. That's a guy that had given Sharks fans a lot of nightmares when he was playing with the
Kings.
He was always scoring. He was a goal, and he's a 30 goal type of guy. You know, he's a guy that can really shoot the puck. He scores. He's a scorer.
I'm actually shocked he went to us, though. There was a lot of talks that he was going to go back to the Kings and kind of hang up the skates there.
I think the Sharks were able to overpay a little bit because they need to get up to the salary floor. So that's part of it. 4 year, $24 million.
What a parody!
I know, right?
We have a team that is going out there and getting talent and getting players, and they're not even spending enough to hit the floor, and they're trying.
Yeah.
Well, that's what baseball needs. That's the problem. Is there's no floor.
Yeah.
Right. They have a cap that doesn't.
Yeah, they don't even have.
What does it do?
They don't even have a real cap. It's just a luxury tax, really. They also signed center Alex Wenberg. He's going to be a bottom six center, I believe. 2 years and $10 million. I'm just looking on Sharks Instagram as well, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I mean, they re-signed a couple of players. Justin Bailey was one of them. Luke Cunnin also re-signed. Other than that, it's just really everybody was hyped around the draft itself was the big part. As for the rest of the league, now here's a bunch of names as well that I'm going to read off. Chicago, they made a couple of moves. They signed Tyler Bertuzzi. That's a huge one. And then they also got goalie Laurent Brossoit. Brossoit? I think so.
Brossoit?
Yeah. Brossoit. Yeah. It's a French name. Lovely fishing in Quebec, you know. Boston made a splash as well. They signed forward Elias Lindholm and Nikita Zadorov. So 7 years and 6 year deals. So like really locking them up long term. Columbus Blue Jackets, they actually signed Sean Monahan. That's a pretty big signing, 5 years there. A reason to keep hating the Edmonton Oilers for Sharks fans. Right winger Corey Perry re-signs there for 1 year, $1.4 million. So we can keep hating Edmonton. That's great. That feels good to me. That feels normal, you know. They also signed Jeff Skinner for a 1 year contract. Minnesota signed Yakov Treinen for 4 years. Edmonton, they extended their 20-year-old talent, Yuri Slavkovsky, Russian name. 8 years, $60.8 million contract. Like, that is big time money that they just handed out. Wild. Okay, so New Jersey Devils, they signed a defenseman, Brett Pesce, 6 years, $33 million. Nashville,
this is where it gets big.
This is where it gets huge. Nashville, they went out and signed Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, and Brady Skjei. I can't say that last name, but $32 million for 4 years for Stamkos. Marchessault gets 5 years, $27.5 million, and then Brady gets 7 years, $49 million. So 7 years, 7 per. The New York Rangers. Oh yeah, that's absolutely wild. Nashville really wants to like push for it right now. Like they feel like they have a shot. I think. The Rangers made a trade for Riley Smith. Pittsburgh is going to retain 25% of his salary. So I think it's a $5 million contract for this last year of the contract.
I do declare.
Yeah. Anthony Duclair goes to the Islanders, old friend. 4 years, $14 million.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
I don't think those Sharks would even come close to giving him something like that. But good for him. I wanted him back. I liked him, but go. Do you,
yeah,
boo boo? Do you?
That's right. Yeah. Washington signed defenseman Matt Roy. 6 years, $34.5 million. Florida re-signed Sam Reinhart before he could hit the open market. 8 years, $69 million. Very nice. Tampa Bay traded for and then extended Jake Grunsel, 7 years, $63 million. Seattle got a little bit busy. They signed Brandon Montour and Chandler Stevenson. Detroit signed Cam Talbot. They already have 2 NHL caliber goalies on the roster, so I don't know what they're thinking there. But Jake DeBrusk goes to Vancouver, and then Chris Tanev signs with Toronto. So that's pretty fun. And then so Cooley left the Sharks as well. Yeah.
I think it's
And-
like $400,000 or something like that.
No,
but-
it's like the league minimum. Yeah.
But the reason why I put that in there is because I feel like that's where the Sharks should probably focus next. Right?
Well, yeah, they did draft 2 goalies, and goalies are notoriously, up and down. So, if a goalie can catch fire real quick, and we saw that with Aiden Hill. He was dog shit with the
He
Sharks.
goes to fucking Vegas.
He goes to fucking Vegas, and he ends up being the dude to win the cup. It's just I don't know, man. It's just good luck. Get your bag. Goaltenders are they come and go. It's really tough we got spoiled. When we had Nabokov for a decade, and then we had Antti Niemi for 5 years after that. I mean, it's just kind of it's rare to see that because even when you think you find one, like Martin Jones,
It
he-
seems
he
like too
fell off.
goalies. There'll be a big name goalie, and they win a cup, and then they kind of disappear. Like the goalies are like a 2-year, 3-year thing. Like it seems like you don't really find goalies that last.
Right.
10
I mean,
years, 12
I
years.
would
Those guys are rare.
I would say goalies are kind of like quarterbacks in that you have probably half the league has a really good, capable starting goalie that you can depend on for the foreseeable future, 2 or 3 years, and then everybody else, it's like kind of the shell game,
Yeah, I mean, I
mixed
think
around a little bit.
I think I'd probably go like a kicker. Like you. Only because a quarterback gives them a lot of leeway. I'd say kicker because it's just like that back half. Like I fucking need you like right now, man. Like,
Right,
I
yeah,
need
yeah,
you
yeah.
now. So again, it's just like Vince was saying. Like you could have a goalie that was dog shit for you, and all of a sudden he turns it around, and then now what's Aiden Hill doing? You know what I mean? So it's just there's a revolving door. Not everyone could be the Janikowskis of goalies.
All right, so that brings us to the end of hockey talk. Over the image on that, Tim. So let's go ahead and just skip right over the that one and go to the soccer. All right. So the local teams, I put them both on one screen just to like save a little bit of time, I guess. The Earthquakes ended up losing at Stanford Stadium to the LA Galaxy 3-0. Again, this is just a dog shit performance from a dog shit team that just fired their coach because they have a dog shit owner. Just a whole lot of dog shit, but they got to see pretty fireworks at the end of the game, so that's nice. Had to go to Stanford to do it because you can't host fireworks games or drone shows or anything in the air at all because your neighbor is the San Jose airport. So they have 2 games this coming week just to make it even more painful. They're at St. Louis on Wednesday, and then Sunday they're at home hosting Chicago. And both of those games are at 5:30 local time. So, yeah. Okay, let's move on to a little bit better news. Bay FC, they get the win 1-0 at Racing Louisville. So what happened was to get this goal, Princess was fouled in the box, and then it actually took a VAR review to actually give the penalty. Then Oshuala takes the first ever PK, and she converts it, and that's in the 76th minute. So we're like, in the last 15 minutes of the game, this is a huge moment. And she converts it. And she said that she's been practicing for it, for a while. And it finally happened. So Bay FC has got 2 straight 1-0 wins, defense showing up. So the current record is 6 wins, 9 losses, no draws. That's 18 points. And that's 8th in the league, which is a playoff spot. That is, top 8 teams make it. They are currently holding a playoff spot right now. This league is so compact, especially in that middle, on the bubble playoff zone. So a couple of wins, suddenly you go from 12th to 8th, and it's nothing. So that's it. It's kind of impressive. So the next game that they have is Saturday at home against Washington Spirit, 7 p.m. And then after that game, we're on a extended break because the Olympics are coming, and then there's a couple more international stuff happening, transfer windows, stuff like that. So we're done with women's soccer with Bay FC. Their schedule takes a huge break for like basically a couple months. They come back in August, toward the end of August, I believe.
Nice.
So this is your last opportunity to get in before the Olympics start. So everybody tune in. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun to watch.
I am currently also keeping live watch on USA versus Uruguay.
Yeah, that's the next image. Let's throw that up, Tim. Yeah. So, where do we begin? Their group stage game against Panama, they took the L 2-1 on Thursday. Tim Weah got a red card in the 18th minute via VAR for punching an opponent from behind, basically catching them in the.
Do you agree with the 2-game suspension?
See, that's the thing I was getting to next. He was suspended for the next 2 games. I agree that it should have been 1 game.
I agree with that too.
I
do not think it should have been 2.
I don't know that it should have been 2, but I think that they're trying to send a message. It's the most CONCACAF game that's happened in common ball for a while. I think so after the red card, Balogun gets a goal 4 minutes later. In the 22nd minute from the left side off of the back post and in, but then Panama ties it again 4 minutes after that in the 26th minute, and then they take the lead in the 83rd minute. USA just couldn't hold on being down that extra man for that long. They're currently playing right now against Uruguay and oh no, it looks like there's a penalty being taken right now. Oh no.
Penalty or corner kick?
Oh no, it's a corner. It's a corner.
Yeah.
I take it back. I just saw the ref in the middle there. But yeah, so they're playing right now for their tournament live. They basically have to they need to get a win today. There's no other way around it. If they don't win, they're done.
Yeah. You're gonna be.
Actually, I take that back. There is one way that they get in. So a win versus Uruguay, and then they get they win goal differential tiebreaker with Panama, or they win and get a Bolivia win or draw versus Panama. And then the other option is draw versus Uruguay today, and then Bolivia wins or draws against Panama. So basically, you got to take care of business yourself here, and then you have to hope for a little bit of help from Bolivia here to make your life a little bit easier.
Cutting in here real quick,
Okay.
I have pressing matter to attend here, to address here.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, someone had texted me and said that Sam left his phone at work, and if you could ask him if he would like this flagship collection Topps baseball card box. Is the answer yes or no?
I did forget my phone's at work.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
yes.
Yes.
Sure. I want cards.
Yeah, that's right. Rip open a pack for our boy.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Continue.
so we're gonna keep an eye on this on this
Breaking
match
news.
happening with Uruguay. Yeah, so they need to win, otherwise it's all in likelihood going to be done. Let's move on to the one last image for soccer. I said that weird. So the U.S. women's national team announced their roster. The one big surprise was Alex Morgan was left off of it. I actually kind of thought that she would get left off of it. Emma Hayes, the new coach for the women's team, really takes performance at the club team level seriously. And Alex Morgan has just been injured and not scored a goal yet for Angel City. Or San Diego, excuse me. She plays for San Diego. But yeah, so that's the big news was Alex Morgan was left off. It's the first time since 2008 that she's missed a major U.S. Women's National Team roster for something like this. The other part that is a little bit, that people were talking about was the inclusion of what's her name, Corbin Albert, who of course had the terrible like homophobic and transphobic posts earlier.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
yes,
she
yes.
was included, and they said that she's like doing the work or whatever, but she hasn't really other people have said that Corbin is doing the work and learning and stuff like that, but we haven't seen any of that yet to this point.
Don't
So
worry.
that's what a lot of fans are clamoring for, is like, hey, if you're saying she's doing like work and she's trying to better herself or whatever, just show it to us, because we haven't seen it yet.
Don't worry. It's gonna be Full Metal Jacket when she touches down in Paris with their team. Don't
Oh.
fall asleep. They're gonna take a pillowcase full of bars of soap.
I don't know about that. But yeah, there's a lot of talent on this roster, obviously, and they have a shot to get a gold medal here because they're Team USA, and they've got a lot of young, incredibly talented forwards, especially. Jaden Shaw's only like 19 years old, and she's on this roster. So yeah, this is a pretty exciting team overall. Yeah, I am hyped to see it, and I will be booing Corbin Albert, but cheering everybody else until I see the work. So that's the Olympic roster. I think we have one last image to put up there. We're gonna move over to baseball. And so this is the second week in a row the Giants lost a major, contributor to their history. Orlando Cepeda passed away earlier this week. So I'm kind of wondering how the are they going to do a second patch for him next
They already
to Willie, or what does that look like? I don't
It's
know.
it's another patch on the other arm for
Okay,
Cepedas.
so they're basically getting a patch on either arm. That's actually okay. That kind of works. I was wondering if they would maybe do two, like one big patch or whatever, or maybe that's something that'll come later.
They showed the game on Saturday, and you know how they have the players' historic numbers up on the left field. So Willie's had a big memorial wreath around it, and then Cepeda had like a smaller one, but short notice type of wreath around that as well too. So
right, okay, cool, yeah. So yeah, rest in peace, Orlando Cepeda. He was, that's another all-time great baseball player. That's 2 weeks in a row for the Giants. So man, somebody,
not a good week for Giants legends.
Yeah, not a good week for Giants legends. Somebody put Barry Bonds in a bubble, like keep him safe, right?
I think he'll be okay.
He'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be fine. Man. Okay, so that's all that we have on this. Anybody have anything else they want to rant and rave about?
Around the corner, I'm super excited. I've yet to track down what kind of sports I want to watch, but what is it? Most of them are going to be probably about 4 a.m. for us, 6 a.m.
No,
for the most part.
a little bit, but I mean, they'll show live events probably up until like 8 or 9 a.m. for us.
Anything particular you guys are wanting to watch? Like, I'm definitely more interested in the gymnastics now that I've seen Simone Biles, her some of her work that she's done recently. They posted. I'm like, oh,
she's back.
She's back.
Yeah, she's back. Yeah, so that's kind of wild. Suni Lee also. So basically, the last two all-around Olympic champions are both USA, and they're both going this year too. So
yeah,
it's kind of wild. This is the first time that's ever happened, where you had the two overall gymnastics champions in the last two Olympics, like on the same team at the same time.
Basketball's happening, right?
Basketball is happening too. Yep.
How come I have not seen them do any practice? Are they practicing? It's in like 2 weeks or like 3 weeks.
Oh, I'm sure they're practicing. They're just
I think they're practicing this week, actually.
Okay.
This week and next week, I believe, is what I saw. Because they were talking about when is Curry and LeBron and everybody going to show up. I don't think it's clear cut that, every year it seems like the Americans are always the heavyweight. They're going to be the favorite, and I think they'll probably go into the Olympics as the favorite. But I don't think it's going to be as much as a cakewalk as the world gets better.
Right.
I mean, shit. France had three first round draft picks this past draft, something like that. So.
Mm-hmm.
The world
at
is
Wemby.
closing the gap. So
Right, but America actually has the advantage of bringing air conditioning with them. They're bringing the units. I think what's going to happen is like France, like they kind of tried to come up with a way to keep the building cool enough for the athletes. And I think they're gonna try it, and if it's not working out, they're gonna plug those motherfuckers in.
LeBron's
And,
gonna come out and be like, "Do you understand? I spend $2 million a year on my body. Not
Yeah.
having AC is not one of them."
No, that's right. No. So yeah, well, and I mean,
fuck the environment. LeBron and the players need AC.
yeah, god damn it, USA. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of really cool stories coming out about like Olympic trials and stuff like that. People making teams. Like I saw one woman, she needed like 6.86 meters on her long jump to qualify for the Olympics, and she got 6.86 meters on the dot. Like
Wow.
if she was a centimeter shorter, she wouldn't have made it. Like it's just we're hearing about all kinds of wild stories like that, and there's a lot of real feel good stuff happening here. I think the Olympics is like when you look at the athletes themselves, not the people running it, not the the chaos and the evil shit behind the scenes and building the stadiums and stuff like that. That's all like there's a lot of really documented bad shit happening there, but like the stories of the athletes, that's what I really enjoy the most about the Olympics. And obviously we'll learn more about the other nations' athletes as well as we get closer. But I'm just really excited to hear
Except
more
one.
stories about that.
Fuck that Swedish dude. The
Oh yeah.
fuck that guy.
That fucking like the rapist, the child rapist who's like playing volleyball.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy right in the ear. Fuck that guy.
But all the other ones,
Skull
I want to hear
fuck
your
that
story. I
son
want to
of a
hear all
bitch.
your stories, just not
Yeah,
that
no,
one.
yeah.
I don't know anything about that one, so I
Oh,
don't think
yeah.
I want to know.
No. He's just a fucking badman. He's who's gonna be in the Olympics probably.
I think golf is in the Olympics this year, right? Am I not mistaken?
Maybe.
But you know what? You know why I'm bummed about it? Okay, I wanted to see Bryson, but because he doesn't play on the PGA, he doesn't have a world ranking and he doesn't have points, so he can't be on the Team USA. So now I'm disinterested anymore. I don't really care anymore.
Welcome to my world where I don't care about golf ever. Is Tiger playing? No? Okay, I don't give a shit. No.
Nah, he's not playing. Scotty Scheffler's playing, and he's had the cops come around his corner too many times in the last 3 weeks.
Right, yeah. Oh man.
So is Bryson with the Saudis or what?
He's with the Saudis, so he doesn't get a world ranking anymore.
I thought they were going to incorporate.
They're going to merge
their
though,
stuff.
right? Or is that?
I thought they were going to incorporate
next
their.
year?
Well, it's that is a pipe dream that it moves as fast as everything we want in this country to move as fast as it does, and it doesn't move fast. So those potholes on your street you've been clamoring to get fixed for the last like 6 years. Yeah, it's still going to be there the next 6 years. That's how fast this Saudi Arabia merging thing is going to happen. There's a lot of hoops that they have to jump through to make this work, and PGA is having a lot of pushback because they're losing money, and rightfully so. PGA is its biggest times of making money is the Opens when they let the top players from Live Golf also join. Like Bryson DeChambeau absolutely crushed ratings for PGA and a US Open. It's the most viewed and watched US Open in history of golf, like more than Tiger Woods. So I don't know. We'll see. I think PGA wants a little bit more of a piece of the pie, and Saudis don't really want to give up too much of their pie to give up their players. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's basically been no updates since the story broke like at the end of January earlier this year, man. Like I'm just looking at it right now. I just did a quick Google and I don't see jack squat. So I assume that they're just still negotiating on all the all how it'll work out.
All the players really want is that they want to keep a ranking. They want a central ranking. That's the biggest thing the players want.
Breaking news. The Dubs will retire Klay's jersey after this trade. Like his jersey will be retired. Nobody else is going to wear 11 again. That just came across right now. Let's see. The Warriors released a statement We can't overstate Klay Thompson's incredible and legendary contributions with the Warriors during his 13 years with the team, highlighted by 4 NBA championships, 6 trips to the finals, 5 NBA All-Star Game appearances, and several NBA records, including the most points ever scored in a quarter in NBA history and the most three-point field goals in a game. The amount of joy and happiness that Klay provided the Warriors fans, Bay Area natives, and Dub Nation supporters all around the world has been immense and cannot be minimized. His penchant for delivering in pressurized situations on the biggest stage, including many Game 6 heroics, has helped define a career. Klay's legacy will live on forever as we look forward to the day when we can retire his number 11 jersey at Chase Center, where he will join a host of Warriors immortals, including those who helped shape this recent dynasty, himself included. So
Nice.
We thank Klay for his contributions and wish him the best as another chapter in his journey is written.
Vince,
So-
Vince, turn around to TV. Turn around.
What do we got? We got.
Somebody in Uruguay is being carried out on a stretcher.
Oh no! Oh, yeah, he's not coming back into the game. Oh.
Anyways, I'm sorry. I just wanted to break that in. But yeah, man, Klay.
Breaking news on the breaking news.
Yeah. Klay, forever warrior. Do NBA players sign one-day contracts? Is that a thing?
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I hope he signs a one day and just
Yeah.
retires
Here's a
as warrior.
20. Here's a 20. Come on by. Wing of
So
Benjamin Franklin Adam.
the Warriors are going to retire 23, 30, and 11, right? That's
Absolutely.
feels
Um,
right.
They said that they're going to retire KD's 35 as well, and nobody's worn 35 since he left the team. They did.
I
say
appreciate what KD has done. I don't know if it's jersey retirement.
that. Yeah,
worthy.
I think 3 years is not enough for a jersey retirement, in my opinion. But I also, I could see it being a nobody wears the number, and then maybe he's the 4th guy that gets the retired after,
Unless they get him back.
unless they get him back. The Slim Reaper coming home. No.
I mean, it is almost July 4th. It's the anniversary
It's
of
almost
the Kevin
time.
Durant.
It's almost time, guys. The chaos. Ooh.
All right, guys. Well, I got nothing else on the docket here. I'm gonna finish up this whole Uruguay thing and hopefully hope for the best for USA. Anything else for you guys tonight?
No, that's it for me.
All right, guys. Well, you are listening to the SVT podcast. Sell the team. Subscribe
Sell
on
the
YouTube
team.
and hit the bell to get alerts when we go live. And if you also want to comment on the down below to sell the team, you could also do that. Follow us on Instagram and Threads at SVT Sports Pod. Slide into our DMs and tell us that you want them to sell the team, and we would love to interact with all of you.
Fuck
Love
John
you guys.
Fisher.
Fuck John Fisher.
Bye, guys.
Later.